investment. We are working towards maintaining and spreading the authority of the State of Lebanon on all its territories on the basis of Al-Taif Agreement. At the end of the day, nothing could be achieved without stability, without the total withdrawal of the Israeli occupation forces, namely the so-called 5 points. This morning, today, we continued our discussion with His Excellency, seeking Qatar's support and also the assistance from the international players in order to exercise pressure on Israel in this respect. With respect to the regional issues, from day one, Iran came under attack. We expressed that Israel's attacks are constitute violation of Iran's sovereignty as well as the international law. We were pleased that yesterday, as the fruit of Qatar's efforts, dust settled, and we hope a new chapter starts for diplomacy. This is an all-Arab firm stand, as expressed by His Excellency. Not only Lebanon and Qatar, all the Arab states adopt the same firm position. We seek entire Middle East free from nuclear weapons. And this is an opportunity to remind one and all and each of this particular matter. To conclude, I thank His Royal Highness the Emir of Qatar, His Excellency the Foreign Minister, Prime Minister of Qatar, and Qatar for their support and assistance to Lebanon. First questions by Al Jazeera English.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister. I wanted to ask you, given the attack last night, how would you see your relationship altered or changed between first Iran as well as the United States? Thank you.
Well, I think that when it comes to the relationship, I believe what happened yesterday was a shock not only for the government here, but for the people of Qatar to have an attack on a Qatari soil, on a Qatari asset that took place last night. And we believe that this is, considered a violation of the good neighborhood policy that Qatar has adopted since the beginning. But we will preserve the same tone with everyone.
The one that's going on air, it's a clean.
We are able to defend ourselves and to deter anyone who would like to undermine our security. But also we would like to have a relationship with everyone in the neighborhood that it's peaceful, based on friendship, common interest, and trying to avoid any disputes or challenges. We are not adopting a policy that it's escalatory and taking it to another level. We always we call for diplomacy for others, but also we resort for ourselves. And basically, that will definitely have its scar on the relationship, what happened today. But I hope that by the time that everyone learns the lesson that this kind of neighborhood relationship should not be violated and should not be undermined. On the other hand, with the United States, I don't see that this has any impact on the relationship with the United States. We've been in a very strong alliance and partnership with the U.S. for decades now, and we have demonstrated that this partnership is meant for not only for the sake of the two countries, but also for the sake of the stability and the security of the region. And we have seen how yesterday the Qatari armed forces demonstrated their capabilities in order to defend the entire facility and to ensure that everyone is protected, including American and other friendly troops. So I don't think that there is an impact on the relationship with the U.S., except that the partnership between Qatar and the U.S. is just growing stronger. And I hope that this partnership also and good neighborhood relationship come back to its norm with Iran as soon as possible. And we hope that we don't see any hostility in the future. What we are seeking for is a peaceful neighborhood. We believe that the Gulf countries are a center of stability in that region. And we believe that what we face together is a common challenge and common threats. And also what we have as an opportunity is a common opportunity for a better future for everyone in the GCC region. And we would like to see Iran taking part of this vision to be partnering not only with Qatar, but with the entire GCC based on the principle of good neighborhood and partnership for prosperity for all people.
السؤال الثاني من صهيب الأسا الجزيرة الإخبارية.
Second question by Al Jazeera Arabic News Channel. Dr. Nawaf Salam, we have heard message of condemnation of the Iranian attack on Qatar. What are the measures to be taken by Lebanon in order to force Israel into an agreement? And do you think, to what degree will Hezbollah would observe the agreement so long as Israel continues with their violation and refusal to withdraw? As I stated earlier, we are doing our best in order to demonstrate and enforce our authority on all the Lebanese territories on the basis of Al-Ta'if agreement, which we are bound to comply with. As to the pockets or the points, the 5 points that the Israeli occupation forces continue to occupy, we are endeavoring in order to rally the necessary support from the Arab states as well as global support in order to pressurize Israel to pull out from these points. On repeated occasions, I spoke to His Excellency seeking Qatar's support to Lebanon in this respect. And with respect to your question on Hezbollah, by the grace of God, over the past few weeks, we held our collective efforts hand in hand in Lebanon to steer the country away from an all-out war, especially that the regional conflict was expanding. Today, the military operations have been halted, and we are looking forward to a new chapter of diplomacy as expressed by His Excellency, the Foreign Minister of Qatar. Al-Arabi Television. A question to the Qatari Foreign Minister. You stated that Qatar reserves the right to respond as well as the diplomatic and legal measures. Can you explain what are these measures? And how optimistic are you on the ceasefire established between Iran and Israel, especially that recent violations were monitored this morning? A last question. Following this ceasefire, is there a possible agreement to have a similar ceasefire in Gaza Strip? With respect to the diplomatic and legal steps, they are currently being examined by the State of Qatar. Yesterday, the State of Qatar presented a brief statement to the Security Council on the events, and today an emergency meeting of the GCC member states. We are not seeking escalation. We are seeking diplomatic solutions, as always been the habit and practice of the State of Qatar. We aim to put an end to any conflict or crisis through negotiating table. We cannot stand at the spearhead of any escalation. Again, geography has it that Iran is a neighboring country, and we are observing the principle of good neighborhood. However, there is a clear understanding that any violation or attack on the State of Qatar by any foreign country or outside force is unacceptable, and there is a clear mechanism with respect to how to co-live and deal with one another. At the end of the day, this undermines the regional security. And with respect to the second part of your question on the ceasefire, we were delighted following the communication that took place between His Royal Highness the Emir of Qatar and his American and Iranian counterparts that dust have settled. At the end of the day, the matter rests in the hands of the warring parties. Today, we are living in a gray area where none of the warring parties wishes to seem as if the one receiving the final blow. We wish to see a genuine observation of the ceasefire, responsible act by the warring parties, exactly as the State of Qatar had observed with respect to the Iranian attack of yesterday. We hope a total and complete ceasefire be observed between Iran and Israel. At the same time, Israel be pressured in order to observe a similar ceasefire in Gaza Strip. As to Gaza Strip, negotiations are ongoing, and officials of the State of Qatar, Arab Republic of Egypt, are in constant communication with the parties in order to reach a common ground with the sponsorship of the United States. We have made progress over the past few weeks, yet regretfully, the Israeli escalation and their belligerence on Iran has delayed these efforts. However, we continue with our efforts, seeking and exploring any opportunity to have indirect negotiations taking place between both the parties with the aim of reaching an agreement. We hope that the Israelis wouldn't seize the opportunity of having a ceasefire established with Iran in order to give vent to their belligerence on Gaza, and we call on the international community to impose a total ceasefire on Israel, and Hamas accepts a deal whereby the war comes to an end and all the Israeli captives released, as well as the Palestinian detainees. The last question by TRT. Arabic television. Question to Dr. Nawaf Salam. You stated that you sought assistance from Qatar and Turkey to pressure Israel to pull out from the 5 positions in Lebanon. Is this assistance limited to dialogue, especially that it is repeatedly mentioned that Israel continues with their violation, turning a deaf ear and blind eye to all attempts of dialogue? As I said, we are doing our best in order to rally diplomatic and political efforts to exercise pressure on Israel, starting from the Arab states to the UN Security Council permanent member states, especially that an agreement of ending all hostilities was reached with Israel in November last, which was violated by Israel. That's why we are seeking assistance to impose or pressure Israel to observe such agreement. His Excellency paid a visit to Lebanon early this year, and today I renewed the invite in order to pay another visit in the coming weeks. And by then we hope that calm, stability to Lebanon early this year, and today I renewed the invite in order to pay another visit in the coming weeks. And by then we hope that calm, stability and peace have been restored in the region. This is an opportunity to encourage all the nationals to visit Lebanon, and also an opportunity to reinvigorate tourism activities in Lebanon. Again, I thank you, representative of the media, and before I leave, I would like to leave a final message to all those listening to and watching us. The state of Qatar, by the grace of God, has adopted strict precautionary measures which proved to be sound and effective. These measures enabled the state of Qatar to come out free of any damage or injury, and I request all to receive and deliver information only from official sources and not to circulate any unconfirmed reports.
कतर के वज़ीर-ए-आज़म और वज़ीर ख़ारजा और लेबनान के वज़ीर-ए-आज़म की न्यूज़ कॉन्फ्रेंस आप मुलाहिज़ा कर रहे थे। कतरी वज़ीर-ए-आज़म ने कहा कि इसराइल और ईरान ने जंगबंदी मुआहिदे पर इत्तफ़ाक़ किया, जंगबंदी का खैर मक़दम करते हैं, ख़ित्ते में अमन के ख़्वाह हैं। कतरी वज़ीर-ए-आज़म शेख मोहम्मद बिन अब्दुर्रहमान अल सानी कतर में अमरीकी बेस पर ईरान के हमले की मज़म्मत करते हैं। इसराइल ने इलाकाई रियासतों पर हमला करके उनकी खुद मुख्तारी को चैलेंज किया। इसराइल ने ख़ित्ते को जंग में झोंकने की कोशिश की। इस न्यूज़ कॉन्फ्रेंस के दौरान कतरी वज़ीर-ए-आज़म ने कहा कि GCC रियासतें ऐसे हमलों की सख्ती से मज़म्मत करती हैं। मज़ीद उन्होंने कहा कि कतर की मुसल्लह अफ़वाज अपना दिफा करना जानती हैं। कतर ने ख़ित्ते में बढ़ती कशीदगी को कम करने के लिए अहम किरदार अदा किया है, मुस्तकिल जंग बंदी की हिमायत करते हैं। कतरी वज़ीर-ए-आज़म ने यह भी कहा कि कतर की सरज़मीन पर होने वाले हमले पर तशवीश है। हमले पर हमने शदीद एहतजाज रिकॉर्ड कराया है, सिफारतकारी से ही मौजूदा सूरत हाल के हल की हिमायत करते हैं। इस हवाले से आपको एक बार फिर से आगाह करते चले, कतर के वज़ीर-ए-आज़म और वज़ीर ख़ारजा और लेबनान के वज़ीर-ए-आज़म की न्यूज़ कॉन्फ्रेंस। इसराइल और ईरान ने जंगबंदी मुआहिदे पर इत्तफ़ाक़ किया।
और अब अहम खबर आपको देंगे कि वज़ीर-ए-आज़म मोहम्मद शहबाज शरीफ ने कहा है कि पाकिस्तान इक़्तिसादी राहदारी के तहत जारी मंसूबों की कामयाबी से तकमील के लिए पुरअज़्म है। शाहराह कराकोरम ML1 गवादर पोर्ट ऑपरेशनल के साथ साथ ज़राअत, सनअत और IT के शोबों में ताउन अहमियत का हामिल है।
انہوں نے یہ بات اسلام آباد میں چین کے سفیر جانگ زیڈونگ سے گفتگو میں کہی۔ وزیر اعظم نے دونوں ملکوں کے درمیان تاریخی تصویراتی شراکت داری کا ذکر کرتے ہوئے کہا کہ پاکستان کے ساتھ مالی اور اقتصادی مشکور ہیں۔ پاکستانی معیشت مستحکم کرنے میں مدد ملی اور میکرو اکنامک آؤٹ لک میں بہتری آئی۔ انہوں نے کہا کہ یہ معاونت حکومت کے سماجی اور اقتصادی ترقی کے ایجنڈے کے لیے اہم ہے۔ وزیر اعظم محمد شہباز شریف نے صدر شی جن پنگ اور وزیر اعظم لی کیانگ کے لیے خیر سگالی کے جذبات اور چین میں ہونے والے شنگھائی تعاون تنظیم کے آئندہ سربراہ اجلاس کے لیے نئے خواہشات کا اظہار کیا۔ انہوں نے سربراہ اجلاس میں شرکت کے لیے اپنے دورہ چین کے حوالے سے دونوں ممالک کے درمیان جاری مشاورت کا بھی ذکر کیا۔ ملاقات میں علاقائی سلامتی کی صورتحال، خاص طور پر ایران اسرائیل تنازع میں حالیہ پیش رفت پر بھی تبادلہ خیال ہوا۔ چین کے سفیر نے مذاکرات اور